So I'm headed out to do some plant shopping around the city. There's a couple of greenhouses in particular that I'm gonna go to, so I'll show you what they have this weekend. They tend to get shipments in on the weekends, sometimes midweek, but they usually have some pretty good stuff. So I'm gonna take you guys with me. Okay, so I'm at my first stop, and before I got here, I stopped and I got donuts from, it's like this little place called Yummy's Donuts in my town. Like, honestly, everything since COVID has just been shutting down. So, I should say my city. I do live in a city, but everything's been just shutting down left and right and nothing really seems to stay open. So right now, this is like the donut place to go to. And then, of course, I stopped at Dutch Bros, so. It's the weekend. I'm gonna treat myself a little. So the very first greenhouse that I stopped at was Family Tree. There are a couple different locations, but I stopped at that one first, and they had a really good selection of items. They had Monstera laniata. Don't know if that's how we pronounce that. They had this really, really pretty white plant that's very, very soft, and it's Senecio. I don't know. I put it on the thing. A various amount of cacti and other items as well. They had some booby cactus and the peen ones. And one of these days I'm going to buy that for my friend because we just have running jokes with it. But right now I think they're gearing up for spring, so there's not as many tropicals in there at the moment, but it's going to look really, really nice when summer hits. It's one of my favorite nurseries around town. They also had tons of philodendrons. They had micans and brantianum, commonly known as philodendron brandy. A lot of Monstera ticans, which the prices are starting to get better on, but they're still cheaper in like grocery stores. So if your stores, wherever you're at, hold, or even your big box stores, if they carry Monstera ticans, definitely check the price there. But they also had some spring items coming in, like shamrocks and other plants. They had quite a few Hoya, which was nice, but I'm sort of a Hoya person, but they didn't have the ones that I was looking for. So I kept going, and that was about all that they had. They're starting to gear up for spring, so they just didn't have as much this time around, but it is a really nice nursery if you ever get a chance to visit. But after that, I headed about 20 minutes over to Larry's nursery. Larry's is wonderful. I love the people there. The nursery itself is great. They always have a huge selection, and they have a cute little cat named Janet. Family Tree also has a cat. I don't know the cat's name though, but they actually both happen to be calicos, so that's pretty cool. So just walking through Larry's nursery, they had Dieffenbachia, a reflector, which is pretty neat. If you don't know what that is, the reflector, it literally reflects if you shine light onto it. They had a massive assortment of alocasias, and they even had alocasia venom, which I think is super neat, but for the life of me, I can't keep alocasias alive, so I don't even bother, unfortunately. Although I will say the thicker leaved alocasias are a bit easier to take care of, so I might try my hand at that again, but my last one died from spider mites, so we'll see. I moved on. They had a ton of philodendron red sun, Philo Florida ghost. They actually had a sale going on at the time when I went, and they had a really large amount of Monstera stanleyanas, and they were on poles too. They had really, really good prices for them, plus the discount. If I didn't already own one, I would have bought more, so kind of balling on a budget right now, so I can't really just buy whatever I want, unfortunately. But they also had Monstera Adansonii variegated, like the Aurea ones. They had Philo Florida Beauty, which is one that I want really badly, but I still can't really afford it right now. I just have too many other things to pay for. But they had really nice colorful pink princesses and just a ton of other items out right now. So if you're local, I would say definitely head up there if you haven't been before. They do get shipments in fairly often, so there's always something new and fresh. It's great for everyone, whether you're just an avid collector of the more rare-ish plants, or if you're just starting out and you're needing something just kind of small, or you're just wanting to buy your friend a plant. And then I moved on a couple days later over to Family Tree out in Overland Park instead. So there are a few different locations. The first one that I went to was in Liberty, and then this is the second one that's out in OP. So I went there, and this one is much bigger. It's actually probably my favorite of the 3, I think, locations that there are. This one has a coffee shop and a koi pond, and they just have so many plants everywhere. It's really beautiful. They have a massive amount of pots, from really small to absolutely huge. Like, I don't even know what you would do with a pot this size, but but they're very pretty. They also had some uncommon plants, philodendron silver stripe, and hanging baskets, which was pretty crazy. Price was a little steep for me, but I also already have it at home, so I don't need it again. But I thought it was really cool to see it in a hanging basket, because I've never seen anyone have one in a hanging basket. And then I got to peep their absolute unit of a Monstera Tycon. It is gorgeous. I mean, they've had it for a while now. I have a video from, I want to say, at least 3 years ago when they got it. It could have been before that. I don't know. But it is so pretty. And I can't wait for mine to get that big one of these days. They have a massive amount of cacti and succulents. Philodendron are everywhere. They have begonias. They had birds of paradise. They also have a little clearance section, which is nice. And they had these really beautiful variegated cacti, which I also have right now in stock in my shop. And then just my own personal, I have a little one. And then they also had a really nice assortment of alocasia as well in tiny little pots that were a little more affordable for the ones that are a little more on the uncommon or rare side. And that about summed it up. It was just so much fun getting to go out and go to all these places so I could show you guys a little bit more of what we have around town. Those aren't the only greenhouses. I might make a part 2 later. We also have a little greenhouse called the Flower Farm. It's about 45 minutes from me. We have, I want to say, a couple other random ones around town as well that I'm willing to check out too if you guys want to see more of that. Overall, I'd say it was a pretty successful day. I did only buy 2 plants. So I only ended up with 2 plants on my entire shopping trip around town, and this one was a clearance item. It is a Begonia Amphioxus. Super cute. It looks very sad though, so I'm still excited for it. We're gonna watch it grow and thrive. I swear I'm gonna take good care of it, so we'll see how it does. I'll show you guys an update maybe in like a month or so. The other one that I got, I need to repot it, but for now, I have the pot sitting inside of this hanging basket, but it is a Hoya variegated Huscheliana. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's it. That's the plant. Those are the 2 plants that I got. So a begonia and a Hoya. We'll see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoy this content. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.